What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today, and today we're going to check out the all new Logitech MX Master 2S mouse. So of course without further ado, let's slice this open, test it out, and give you guys my quick in-depth review. I've been using the Apple Magic Mouse ever since it was introduced back in 2009. Although the Magic Mouse is a really great mouse, and for me the biggest thing was carrying it around campus, I've always wanted something a little bit more ergonomic and offers a few more buttons. So today we're going to try out the Logitech MX Master 2S, and the only reason why I picked this up is because they finally released a light gray white model here to match my Mac setup. So it comes in your traditional Logitech packaging, nothing too spectacular about this. You have the mouse shown here as well as some of the features. Popping this open, looks like the first thing we get, of course, is the mouse here. And for those of you who don't have Bluetooth installed on your computer, you can use this USB dongle to connect your mouse. There's also a USB to micro USB charging cable and Logitech's quick start manual. So I'm pretty excited to actually use this since I've been using the Apple Magic Mouse for so many years now. We have the mouse here, which is actually pretty lightweight. So taking a quick overview of this mouse, first off, design-wise, it's pretty much identical to the original MX Master 2. The only cosmetic difference is the color options for the 2S model, which in this case we have a nice light gray model for those of you with a white gaming setup or a Mac setup. Aside from colors, they're pretty much identical in terms of dimensions and buttons. On the top of the mouse here, you have your traditional right and left click with the Logitech logo on the left click button here, and whether you press the back part or the front part of the button, it still works. In the center here, you have your traditional mechanical wheel, which has a kind of clicky feeling to it, but if you flick it when the mouse is on, you do get that continuous rolling speed. Below that is a customizable button, and on the left side here, you have two more customizable buttons, as well as a third hidden one, which is under the rubber pad here. There's also a horizontal scroll wheel which matches nicely with the top one here. And roughly 3/4 of the top part of the mouse here does feature this rubberized coating, which on the top is a matte finish, and on the left and right side here has this textured finish. On the bottom of the mouse here, you have 4 wear pads, which I put these little skins here to keep it from wearing down any more than they should on the original pads, an on and off switch on the top, as well as a button here to toggle between 3 different computers. For those of you wondering what I have these buttons set for, obviously the left and right click are meant for left and right, but for the customizable buttons, this middle button here I use to show the desktop on my Mac. These side buttons here I use for volume control up and down, which I thought was really useful instead of reaching for the keyboard. And this hidden button here, I use it to take a screenshot, which I usually do to try and make thumbnails for my YouTube videos. To customize all these buttons, you just download Logitech's software for this mouse, and you can pretty much set the mouse to do whatever you like on your computer. So as I mentioned, most of the updates are pretty much the internals of this mouse, and one of the newest features that Logitech has to offer with the MX Master 2S is the Logitech Flow. And pretty much what this option does is it lets you move your mouse from one computer to another without having to manually disconnect and connect it to a second computer. Now for me that feature is kind of useless since I do have just one computer, which is my 2016 Touch Bar MacBook Pro hooked up to a external monitor here, but for those of you, for example, who have a home computer and a work computer, then that feature can make it a little bit easier to have one external mouse for both those computers. Some other minor tweaks with the mouse here is that the sensor is now an optical sensor versus a laser, which means it also features a higher precision tracking at 4000 dpi. So basically what that translates into is, especially for those of you gamers out there, your mouse movements will be a little bit more precise. For me, I do take advantage of that increased DPI, especially coming from the Apple Magic Mouse, where for example I'm editing video clips. I find the tracking movements to be a little bit more precise and accurate. Battery life is also improved on this mouse. It has a fast rechargeable battery and holds power for up to 70 days on a full charge. Aside from those minor internal tweaks, as well as the new Logitech Flow feature, which is only available for the 2S model, there really isn't much difference compared to the original. For me, the reason why I waited for the 2S model versus getting the original a couple years back is the fact that they now have a light gray model that matches nicely with my Apple setup here. So for those of you who have a white gaming setup or a Mac setup, this mouse matches really nicely. So as silly as it sounds, yes, I would pay a little bit extra for the color option to match it nicely with my desk setup. So overall guys, I'm pretty impressed with the new MX Master 2S mouse from Logitech. It's my first Logitech mouse I've reviewed. I have used their keyboards before, and I do have to say their mouses are pretty darn nice. Coming from the Apple Magic Mouse 2 that I have here, it's not necessarily night and day, but I do find that the Logitech MX Master 2S model here is a little bit more precise thanks to that 4000 DPI rating. And like I said earlier, doing stuff like editing videos is a little bit more accurate because the tracking is much more precise. Another big thing for me coming from the Apple Magic Mouse is the ergonomics. At first I thought it was a little bit weird going from a really slim mouse like the Magic Mouse here to a big chunky mouse like the MX Master here, but the ergonomics really make a huge difference in terms of comfort and just using the mouse over long periods of time. So for those of you who are looking for an ergonomic mouse, this one here is pretty comfortable to use. The one obvious drawback, of course, is that this mouse is specifically designed for right-handed users. In terms of any cons or things I don't like about this mouse here, one thing I can mention is that the price is quite expensive at $149 in Canada here, and I think it's around $100 in the States. But nonetheless, it's not a cheap mouse, and even the Apple Magic Mouse is cheaper than this mouse here, which you would think would be more for an Apple product. The only other thing I can mention is that the mouse feels quite plasticky, so it's not the most quality mouse, to say the least. For example, the Apple Magic Mouse here is, the base is made of aluminum, and if Logitech used metal or something, it would make this mouse, I would say, feel a little bit more of a higher quality mouse, especially for what you pay for, and also maybe make it last a little bit longer if it had some metal structure built in. In conclusion guys, if you're looking for a new mouse for your desk, gaming, Mac setup, whatever you have, and you want something that is reliable, comfortable, and also precise, you definitely can't go wrong with the Logitech MX Master 2S. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions or comments about this mouse, ask away in the comment section there down below. Hit that like button, as always helps me out, and I'll see you all in the next video.